Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a really big topic: how video games impact young minds. It's so easy to just say, games are good or games are bad.
Right.
But we want to dig deeper, get into the evidence, the nuances.
Exactly. It's just never that simple, is it? The effects are, profoundly conditional. It really varies. Depends heavily on the game's genre.
Okay.
And the amount of time spent playing the dose, we sometimes call it. Also the social setting, the context.
Right.
And maybe most importantly, the child themselves, their unique characteristics.
And this matters so much because kids are spending a lot of time on screens. The American Academy of Pediatrics says, an average of 7 hours daily?
That's the figure, yes.
And a big chunk of that is gaming. It's a really powerful force. So let's unpack this gamer's brain idea for you. How are games like a cognitive workout? It sounds surprising.
Well, they can be. Certain types, like strategy games, role-playing games, they're fantastic for boosting executive functions.
Executive functions,
Think of it as your brain's control center. Managing working memory, flexible thinking, solving complex problems. There's a big study, 2022. It found kids playing 3 or more hours daily actually did significantly better on tasks measuring impulse control and working memory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so not just the complex strategy games. What about, action games?
Oh, absolutely. Action games can really sharpen more fundamental skills, perceptual skills, attentional skills.
Yes, to reactions.
That and more. We've seen even 10 hours of training can improve spatial skills, the kind of games you might see from high school or even university courses.
Okay, that's impressive. But is there a downside? Like you mentioned, attention. Can too much gaming mess with real-world focus? The double-edged sword idea.
That's a really critical point, yes. While games boost that reactive, stimulus-driven attention, reacting quickly to things on screen,
right,
excessive gaming can be linked to real-world attention problems. There are a couple of ideas why. One is the excitement hypothesis. Your brain basically gets used to constant high stimulation. So normal life feels kind of boring, less engaging.
Okay.
And then there's the displacement hypothesis. Simple idea. Time spent gaming just pushes out other activities. Things like reading, homework, stuff needing sustained focus.
Makes sense. But then what about creativity? We hear games can boost that too, like Minecraft.
Yes. Exactly. Sandbox games like Minecraft are great for open-ended problem solving. And remember, fold it.
Oh, the protein solding game.
That's the one. Gamers solved a complex scientific puzzle researchers were stuck on for over a decade. And game-based learning, it can boost information retention by 90%.
Incredible.
So the key thing really is that the benefits are often genre-specific. It matters what you play and how, not just if you play.
Okay, so beyond the brain's wiring, games are social spaces now, right? That old image of the isolated gamer feels, outdated.
Very outdated for many. For lots of kids, online gaming is a major part of their social life. Multiplayer games mean communication, teamwork, cooperation. And they can be less intimidating spaces socially. Good for kids who might be shy or anxious. We saw this during the pandemic, didn't we?
Definitely. Gaming was a lifeline for keeping friendships going.
It really was.
And emotionally. Any benefits there?
Sure. Games can be an escape, a way to de-stress. They can actually reduce activity in the brain's fight-or-flight center. Plus, mastering challenges, getting better at a game, that builds real self-esteem, resilience, too. And there's this interesting rise of pro-social gameplay. Playing cooperatively can actually increase helpful behaviors. It can even lessen the negative impacts sometimes linked to violent games.
So the way you play together matters more than just the game story?
Exactly. The social context can sometimes override the narrative content. It's fascinating.
But we have to talk about the flip side. The online world can be toxic. Cyberbullying, harassment. It's a real concern.
A major one. Pew Research found, I think, 41% of teen gamers reported being called offensive names. And 80% see harassment as a big problem online.
That's high.
It is. So, understanding why a child is playing. Is it for social connection? Is it purely an escape? That often tells you more than just counting the hours they play.
Right. So given all this complexity, what are the main red flags? And what can we actually do? What's the practical advice for navigating this?
Well, for some, gaming disorder is a real clinical issue, recognized by the WHO, the APA. The core signs are things like impaired control over gaming.
Like, can't stop.
Exactly. Gaming taking priority over everything else, school, friends, hobbies, and continuing even when it's causing clear problems, usually over a 12-month period.
Okay.
And it often goes hand in hand with other things, ADHD, anxiety, depression. Sometimes gaming becomes a way to cope. but not a healthy one, a maladaptive coping mechanism.
And what about the link between violent games and aggression? That's always debated.
The general view now is that, yes, violent game exposure is a risk factor for aggression, but a modest one. It contributes, it doesn't cause it on its own, and family environment plays a big role. But some impacts are more straightforward. Health-wise, being sedentary leads to risks like obesity, type 2 diabetes, and a huge one is sleep.
Ah, yes. The late nights.
It's not just late nights, it's shorter sleep duration, taking longer to actually fall asleep. That's onset latency and poorer sleep quality, partly due to the blue light from screens. And yeah, too much gaming often links to worse academic performance, displacement, attention issues.
So putting it all together,
Yeah.
what's the best approach for parents, caregivers, anyone involved?
Parental mediation is absolutely key. But the shift needs to be from being just a gatekeeper, simply restricting access to being more of a mentor.
How so?
Using autonomy supportive strategies, working with your child, like developing a family media plan together, agreeing on rules, maybe 1-2 hours on non-school days, having screen-free zones like bedrooms or the dinner table.
Collaboration, not just dictation.
Precisely. And prioritize the basics. Good sleep, physical activity. Try to engage with the games your child plays. Understand them, co-play sometimes. And, importantly, know the warning signs for problematic gaming.
Makes sense.
We should also be thinking about using game-based learning more in schools, and doctors should probably ask about gaming habits during checkups.
So this deep dive really shows it's complicated. This digital world has huge potential, but real challenges too. It's not on or off. It's about finding balance.
Exactly. And looking ahead, think about new tech like VR, AR. It's constantly evolving. So the question for you really is, how will you keep adapting your own understanding, your approaches to help the next generation develop healthily in this media-rich world?